With great wokeness comes great brokenness, and we have seen Disney struggle over the past few years. Lightyear was a bomb, Elemental is currently failing at the box office, and it doesn't look like they plan to slow down anytime soon, but one of the key players at Disney, their chief diversity officer, has now suddenly left the company. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. So starting off with this Bounding into Comics article, top diversity exec behind controversial Reimagine Tomorrow campaign reportedly leaves the company amid financial woes. Now, I've had to talk a lot recently about Disney, not just the content that they're putting out, but also, yes, the financial woes that they have faced. They have laid off thousands of employees in a major restructure, and it did seem like they were really needing to reconsider some of their future plans, and now it looks like they have decided to get rid of this individual, or this individual decided to leave, but it still isn't going to change much with them. I know that, people are probably feeling a little bit positive about this, like, wow, she was behind some very controversial things like Reimagine Tomorrow, but they are going to be replacing her. It's not like they're completely getting rid of her. It seems like there's no letting up for the storm brewing over the Magic Kingdom, as amidst a number of box office failures and the recent exit of their CFO, the Walt Disney Company has now lost their chief diversity officer, Latondra Newton. It says, stepping away from the House of Mouse after 6 years in her role, her departure was first announced on June 20th, courtesy of an internal company memo. So she has been with them for an extremely long time, and let's be honest, around 2017, when she was hired, is when Disney really started to change. It says, to our extended DEI and HR team, I'm writing to share the news that Latondra Newton has decided to leave the Walt Disney Company to pursue other endeavors. Since joining the company in 2017, she has led the company's strategic diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, including partnering with stakeholders across the enterprise to amplify stories of the world by people around them. Now, she never did anything that I would deem good or positive. She really was just a hire at first to make Disney seem like they cared, like they were going to focus on things like DEI, and we know that DEI initiatives have not gone very positively in Hollywood or even the gaming industry. It says, I know you will all join me in thanking her for her many contributions, including the lasting impact she had on our employees and our culture. As this article mentioned, she also was directly behind Reimagine Tomorrow, which basically was embracing discomfort and humility along the way will enable your growth as an ally. It was all about being an ally. They had things like be accountable, be involved, that said things like be willing to make mistakes and be open to feedback, check in thoughtfully, contribute to the Black community by consistently supporting Black/African American owned businesses and or volunteering to these organizations, challenge colorblind ideologies and rhetoric, like all lives matter or I don't see color. She was the one pushing things like this at the company. Now, she is being replaced. This is not some massive 180 that Disney is doing. No, they are going to be hiring somebody else. They are going to be continuing down this ridiculous path of having a DEI specialist, a chief diversity officer, which in my opinion is absurd. But like I mentioned, when she was hired in 2017, that's really when we saw a shift in Disney's content as well. It says, despite her exit, they will not be shuttering this department. as evidenced by such recent moves as renewing the social justice focus, The Proud Family Louder and Prouder, greenlighting a new animated series based on their floundering The Little Mermaid remake, and allowing a drag performer to serve as the face of the Bibbidi Boppity Boutique. They have made several moves that have been questioned and ultimately wrecked by Disney fans and just consumers over the past few years. And like I mentioned, they are really struggling right now. Pixar's Elemental just flopped at the box office, and this, of course, did kind of push this DEI message because it contained Disney's first non-binary character. And I don't necessarily think the non-binary character is the only reason why this movie flopped, but I do think it played a hand in its demise. The film grossed a mere $29 million, making it the worst start for a Pixar film since Toy Story in 1995. We've also seen the recent failure of the Little Mermaid film, and yes, it is making money, but it does not appear that it is going to make the numbers that they originally expected. We heard rumors that they wanted to make $1 billion with the movie, which really didn't come as that much of a surprise, simply because most of the other live-action adaptations have also made over $1 billion, and they shoved, hundreds of millions into this film, and they needed to make at least $600 million in order for it to kind of break even. They wanted to make more than that, and they need to make more than that because no company is making a project just to break even, just to make the bare minimum back. But people online are actually kind of laughing about the situation. Deadline did make a tweet about it saying Disney's chief diversity officer to exit the company, and people on social media are ruthless, saying things like winning, good, maybe they'll stop producing woke garbage and actually make profit again. And I do think that if Disney did a 180 and they dropped this DEI shit and they started just making decent content, they would be seeing profit. They would be rolling in the dough. They are taking such iconic characters and legacy properties, and they're making so many unfortunate changes to them that people are really starting to revolt. Yes, a few years ago when a lot of the, DEI messaging that was being shoved into movies wasn't really being paid attention to by specifically normies, but now the normal moviegoers are looking at things. They are seeing these things, and look at something again like Elemental. While I don't think the non-binary character was the only reason it failed, I do think it was a major part of it. Laughing my ass off, this is an actual position in a company. Yes, companies do think that this is a way that they can keep with the times and keep up with modern audiences, but as we've seen time and time again, these modern audiences that don't really exist aren't showing up to buy tickets, to see movies, to purchase products in general. They are trying to appeal to an audience that really doesn't exist. But yes, this top diversity executive at Disney is now gone. We'll have to see who they decide to replace her with, if it's going to be someone even worse and even more insufferable, which I'm sure is going to be the case, but only time will tell. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.